Science is universal, but India has been and should be both a giver and a receiver of knowledge, from the very well known to the not so well known, across millenniums of time and fields of work, the Indians who made outstanding contribution to science. On this National Science Day, let us take you on a journey through time and recall the contribution of a few major Indian scientists from different fields. A physician, having thoroughly studied the science of medicine and fully pondered on and verified the truth he has assimilated both by observation and practice, and having attained that stage of knowledge which will enable him to make a clear exposition of the science that should begin his medical career. Shushta Samhita, Volume 1, Chapter 10. Shushta. Shushta is thought to have lived in Varanasi during 600 BCE. His disciples, who were called Shushtas, were required to take an oath to devote themselves to healing and to do no harm to others. He was a physician and surgeon. I am experimenting with the mercury to eliminate poverty from this world. Nagarjuna lived in the 9th century CE near Somnath, Gujarat, and probably migrated to Nagalwadi in Nagpur, Maharashtra, where he set up a chemistry laboratory. Wrote a book called Rasandra Mangala. He was an alchemist, metallurgist, and chemist. The true laboratory is the mind, where behind illusions we uncover the laws of truth. Jagdish Chandra Bose, born on 30th November 1858 in Maisan Singh, now in Bangladesh, studied in India and the UK. In 1917, he founded a research institute in Kolkata that is now called the Bose Research Institute. He worked in two relatively unrelated fields, physics and biology. It was by the enthusiasm for research with which he inspired his students that he will best be remembered. L Simonson, founder, Indian Science Congress Association. Prafulla Chandra Ray, born on 2nd August 1861 in Jaisir district, now in Bangladesh. Studied in India and UK, founded Bengal Chemicals and Pharmaceuticals, India's first pharmaceutical company. He was the chemist and worked in the area of inorganic chemistry. The best work is done with the least amenities. Darashwa no Sarvanwadia, born on 23rd October 1883 at Surat, Gujarat, founded the Indian Institute of Himalayan Geology in Dehradun, which was later named after him, was the first director of Indian Bureau of Mines. He was a geologist. Ask the right question and nature will open the door to her secrets. Chandrasekhar Venkataraman, born on 7th November 1888 at Tiruchirappalli in Tamil Nadu. He studied in India and worked first at the Indian Association for the Cultivation of Science in Calcutta, and later was the director of the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. He founded the Raman Research Institute, Bangalore, and the Indian Academy of Sciences. He was awarded the Nobel Prize and Bharat Ratna. He worked in the field of optics and acoustics. Free thinking is good, but right thinking is better. Megnath Saha, born on 6th October 1893, Shauratuli, now in Bangladesh. He studied and worked in India, UK and Germany. He was involved in setting up the Institute of Nuclear Physics, which was later named as the Saha Institute of Nuclear Physics. He was the director of the Indian Association for the Cultivation of Science. He contributed in astrophysics and nuclear physics. All errors made, particularly by men of intuition, always become useful and even fruitful. Satyendranath Bose, born on 1st Jan 1894 in Kolkata, West Bengal. He studied in India, France and Germany. The S.N. Bose National Center for Basic Sciences was established in Kolkata to commemorate him. He was a physicist. Demonstrated that science becomes relevant to society only when its practitioners are willing to descend down from their ivory towers and translate science into application. S. Shivaram, National Chemical Laboratory. Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar, born on 21st Feb 1894 at Bhira, now in Pakistan. Studied in India and UK. Involved in setting up of the Industrial Research Utilization Committee for translating results into application. first Director General of the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. He was a chemist and worked in the field of colloids. Salam Ali will be remembered as the man who taught Indians to appreciate, to study at first hand, to treasure, to work towards conserving the rich living heritage of the country. Madhav Gadgil, ecologist. Salam Ali, born on 12th November 1896 at Mumbai, Maharashtra, studied in India and in Germany, was the key figure behind the Bombay Natural History Society (BNHS). He was an ornithologist and naturalist. He contributed to study on Indian birds. My work is what will survive. Janki Ammal, born on 4th November 1897 at Thalassery, Tamil Nadu, studied in India, UK and the USA, was the Director General of the Botanical Survey of India. She was a botanist who worked in the area of genetics and plant geography. The willingness to face facts squarely, to draw from them logical conclusions, to accept them without any mental or other reservations, and to act in a manner that will conform to the conclusions is a virtue which we value. Karyamanikam Srinivasan, born on 4th December 1898 in Ramnad district of Tamil Nadu. He studied in India and worked at the Indian Association for the Cultivation of Science. He was the director of the National Physics Laboratory, Delhi. He was the founding member of the National Union of Crystallography. He was a physicist. In the world based on science and technology, it is the education that determines the level of prosperity, welfare and security of the people. Dalek Singh Kothari, born on 6 July 1906 at Udaipur, Rajasthan. He studied in India and UK. He was involved in the establishment of University Grant Commission (UGC) and the National Council of Education, Research and Training (NCERT). He was a physicist and an educationist. For each man can do best and excel in only that thing of which he is passionately found, in which he believes, as I do, that he has the ability to do it, that he is in fact born and destined to do it. Homi Bhabha, born on 30th October 1909 in Mumbai, Maharashtra. He studied in India and the UK. He was the founding director of the Tata Institute of Fundamental Research. He was the first chairman of the India Atomic Energy Commission and built the Atomic Energy Center at Thrombay, Mumbai, which was later renamed as Bhabha Atomic Research Center. He worked in the field of nuclear physics. He is also an example and inspiration for a boldness of challenge to the established wisdom, a style of thought that should be more aggressively taught by example as well as precept. Joshua Lederberg, Nobel Laureate. Shambhuna Day, born on 1st of Feb 1915 in Garibati, West Bengal. His work led to the development of oral rehydration therapies and vaccines against cholera. He was a medical scientist who made an important contribution to the understanding of cholera. I wish to work as long as I live. Ashima Chatterjee, born on 23rd September 1917 in Kolkata, West Bengal, worked in India and the USA, established the National Research Institute of Ayurveda for Drug Development at Kolkata. She worked in the area of analytical and structural chemistry and studied the chemistry of important constituents of medicinal plants. A physicist is trained to accept that what is not possible in theory is not realizable in practice. Vikram Sarabhai, born on 12th August 1919 in Ahmedabad, Gujarat. He studied in India and UK. He founded Physics Research Laboratory and established the Indian National Committee of Space Research, which was later named as Indian Space Research Organisation. He started a rocket launching station at Thumba, Kerala, which is now called as Vikram Sarabhai Space Research Center. He was a physicist and astronomer. Problems should not become the master of the individuals. Individuals should become the master of the problems, defeat it and succeed. Satish Dhawan, born on 26 September 1920 in Srinagar, Jammu and Kashmir. He studied in India and the USA. He was the director of Indian Institute of Science and later the chairman of Indian Space Research Organisation, ISRO. ISRO's launch center at Sriharikota has been named after him. He worked in the field of fluid mechanics and aerodynamics. I am admitting Ramachandran into my department as he is a bit too bright to be in yours. C.V. Raman to the head of the Electrical Engineering Department at IISc Bangalore. Gopala Narayanan Ramachandran, born on 8 October 1922 at Ernakulam, Kerala, studied in India and UK, founded the Molecular Biophysics Unit at Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. He was a physicist who worked in the area of structural biology. This remarkable energy is spreading its tentacles to almost all walks of life, be it power, agriculture, medicine, laser systems, satellite imagery, or environment protection. Raja Ramanan, born on 28 January 1925 in Tumkur, Karnataka. He studied in India and UK. He was the chairman of the Atomic Energy Commission and a member of the International Atomic Energy Agency. He was involved in conducting the first test of nuclear devices at Pokhran, which made India a nuclear power state. He was also involved in design and construction of nuclear reactor in India. He was a nuclear physicist. I believe that the only way one can improve the base of science and technology is by introducing high quality in science education in school, colleges and universities. Sayyid Zahur Kazim, born on 31st December 1926 at Allahabad, Uttar Pradesh, studied in India and UK, was the director of National Institute of Oceanography and the founding secretary, Department of Ocean Development, and led India's first expedition to the Antarctica. He was a marine biologist. There are three factors when searching for alien life. Do they exist? Will they transmit to us? And at what frequencies? Gopal Swarup, born on 23rd March 1929 in Thakurdwara, Uttar Pradesh, he studied and worked in India, Australia and the USA. He was the director of the National Center for Radio Astrophysics (NCRA). He worked in the area of radio astronomy. Love of the subject is the sole criterion to classify an amateur. A professional uses astronomy for his livelihood. The study of meteors, sunspots and solar flares were all results of amateur activities, and astronomy depends on them for progress. Venubabu, born on 10th August 1927 in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. He studied and worked in India and the USA. He founded an observatory with a large telescope at Kavalur, Tamil Nadu, that is now named after him. He was an astronomer. If you fail, never give up, because fail means first attempt in learning. Abul Parik Jainul-Abdin Abdul Kalam, born on 15th October 1931 in Rameshwaram, Tamil Nadu. He worked and studied in India. He was a scientist and science administrator in Defence Research and Development Organization and Indian Space Research Organization. He was the 11th President of India. He worked in the area of aerospace engineering. Glad that the universe, whether evolutionary or stationary, nevertheless exists and thus make possible my dabbling and debating. Kamal Kumar Rai Chaudhary, born on 14 September 1927 at Barisal, now in Bangladesh. He studied and worked in India. He was a member of the International Committee on General Relativity and Gravitation. He was a physicist and worked in general relativity and cosmology. Let these souls instill pride in us and inspire us to do great science.